And we are at the home of the Leicester City Football Club. It's the final match in Pool C. Namibia, the Welwitschers, taking on Argentina, Los Pumas. Argentina already qualified in second place behind New Zealand. Huge moment here for Johnny Redderling-Hayes from the Wanderers. 50th cap, along with Martin Landaho. Wonderful scene at the Leicester City Stadium, the home of Premier League club Leicester City, who are flying high at the moment after their miraculous escape from relegation in their first season back. They are currently in 5th place in the Premier League after a brilliant start to the new campaign. Standing by then for the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you're able for the national anthems of Namibia and first Argentina, supported by the Foss Singers.
Just about in readiness then for this final match of Pool C as we look at the Namibian team. And yes, they've made a host of changes. The coach has made 12 changes to the team that came so close to winning their first ever World Cup match against Georgia. And Argentina have also made a lot of changes to their side, and Hernandez is the man you have to watch. He's a reincarnation of the great Hugo Porter at number 10. And there is so much class and experience. Probably 4 or 5 world-class players at least on the Argentinian bench, and that spells bad news for Namibia in the closing quarter. Well, these guys have played above themselves. They were very brave against Georgia, came so close, losing 17-16. Ogurja, the man who is now with Bath, played in the losing premiership final with Leicester. Porter, the fullback. Very excited crowd. They're already in full voice for the referee Pascal Courser, Jerome Garces and Mike Fraser from New Zealand, the TMOs with George Ayew. Diego Maradona gave a t-shirt to each of the Pumas players in their last match. Red. And he told the Pumas that Argentina, the whole country, is dreaming with us. It was a magnificent throw for the Pumas. And Ortega Desio then with the first touches. Landa Ho clearing it now to the big lock Teti. Well, alongside me, 109 caps for Scotland, Chris Patterson. And immediately
Argentina break it away. That's Moroney.
Moroney with good support inside. Well, they're going to really play this game at pace. That's Naguero Paz, 15 metres out. Hernandez, there's an overlap here. 3-on-2. And some scrambling defence from Namibia. Hectic start, impressive start.
Wow, Gordon, you caught me out there. You came to me right away, and what a break from Moroney up the right-hand side. This is from the kick-off. Taking Gevan out the back of the door, right hand, an offload, and here's Moroney. He's wonderfully covered in the end. I think there's a tackle eventually brought down by Conradi, and when the ball was recycled, the pass was spilled. It looks as if Argentina are going to play a wide game. Left to right, it's Iglesias just fumbling at the end, but what a start by Argentina.
Scrum to be fed here by Damien Stevens, only 20 years of age.
Fine. Set.
And that's a good, solid Namibian start for their scrum. They certainly gave it their best shot against the All Blacks first up and were not disgraced in that area. And there's a nice clearing kick from Tians Kotze, who plays with Brassan in Tier 3. Argentina on halfway. Landa Ho and Hernandez. Loose pass there from the hooker, Julian Montoya.
Option.
Yep. Argentina, they're here to play rugby, but they have to be careful because the Namibians are physical, they're tough. And the more mistakes Argentina make, the more it'll bring Namibia into the game. Good clearance initially by Namibia. And in that pass there, that drifts forward from Montoya. Ogurja can't take it anyway. There's a first opportunity for Namibia to get their hands on the ball. And we see a drive here, Gordon.
Watch you and Evie. He lifts his teammate Venter there. They're going to have a bit of a crack out wide too, as Borta joins the line 10 from halfway. Stevens.
No accidental. Tackle is fine. Stay.
Yes, they've lost Bortmar, who has been suspended, their number 8, who played so well against Georgia.
Red.
And as we mentioned, Jacques Burger, the great warrior, was knocked out in the early stages of that match. Namibia going down 17-16. Now there's some pace out here for Landa Ho. Socino did well. And Agoja
Fine, push.
on the 22. Hernandez.
Offside, advantage.
So Orlandi.
2 red offside.
Some of the passes going astray. A little bit of rust. But now we have a chance. Matera. Foot on the line.
Third, come back from the offside.
Well, we're going to come back to the penalty for Argentina, but that man, Matero, he was going for the corner, and the smallest man on the field in Stevens, the Namibian scrum half. He made the crucial tackle, but the penalty was already gone. It was red number 2. He was offside.
Time off.
This is Argentina on the break. Lovely. Landazzo worked so hard to get back, and then Aguja got his hands free in the contact. Socino with a lovely offload as well. And from this ruck here, number 2 red was offside. This is a tackle we're talking about. There's Matero. And little Damian Stevens helped out,
It was
I
a
think,
hit
by
clash.
the end by Trump. But there's the courage, there's the determination from the Namibian side, and there's a surprise on Matero's face.
Well, he's been watching Kenatale from Fiji, but he didn't do it as well. The little scrum half who scored in that situation.
Yeah, we've got a shoulder injury here.
This may be Jaco
There's a head injury.
Fente, the young lock from Stellenbosch Uni. Let's hope he's okay. But certainly the Pumas showing their intent with some exciting ball in hand. And that's the thing about them, Chris. They've gone from being a forward-oriented international team now to a 15-man team under Daniel Urcade.
Yeah, there's such a dominant force up front for so many years. The scrum, the driving line out, the size, but they've added a real skill level. It's great to see. Is it Venter back on his feet as Argentina opt to go for goal? But they've always had that dominance up front, Gordon. But with players like Hernandez pulling the strings, Socino, as we mentioned earlier on, he'll be a ball player in there as well, and launch Moroney, Amorosino, and Aguja out wide.
Well, you saw Jacques Berger giving the team talk in the dressing room. He's had 60 injuries over the last 2 years,
Feels good?
including 7 operations. Gonzalez Iglesias then. First points here for Los Pumas. Well, that was the aim.
Well,
And that was directly in front, point-blank range.
well, there's a bit of surprise there. I'm not sure if they actually realise they missed that. It's bang in front. I'm surprised Gonzalez Iglesias is kicking. Socino kicks. Hernandez is a front-line kicker. That was an interesting decision, as you see Venter still struggling from that knock. I think he'll need to go off and certainly have a head injury assessment and be checked out.
Well, he's only a very young guy. He's come through the Western Province under-19s, Namibian under-16s and 18s, just 21 years of age.
Yeah, you see a clash of heads there. I think his right eye's come up a little bit as well, so we hope he's okay. Wish him all the best.
Van Lille is on from Bayonne. He's a rugged customer, so a bit more experience and just a bit more bulk as well for Namibia. They play on quickly now to Stevens. And he's the same size as little Tanaka. But both of those scrum halves had massive hearts. Taken up by Kutsia. Back here with Stevens again. Aguja. So hard to tackle, as Chris Patterson told you. He's like a shot put with arms and legs. They're looking dangerous again. Hernandez away to Moroney. He's a lovely runner. And Hernandez then with the first try for Los Pumas. Too much class, too much speed, and too much vision.
Yeah, Juan Martin Hernandez would describe him as a Rolls Royce. That was poetry in motion. He actually gave the delayed pass to Moroney and then just worked hard on the inside, supported all the way along. got the ball back for his 7th international try. That's him with the ball now, draws in the defender, and then he just carries on that support line. Moroney as well, beats 2 defenders, and then the easiest run-ins for Hernandez. He dots it down just to the side of the post. There's a step here from Moroney off the right foot. That's Stevens, just can't make the tackle sliding across, and hard working Hernandez, the casual stroll over the line, and that's the first try of the afternoon.
Yes, well, that deserved a full round of applause. The average age of this Pumas side today is just over 26. It's the youngest they've selected at a World Cup for 16 years. 349 caps in total, so they're most experienced in 16 years as well. Now that's a better kick. Got the radar right that time. Converted try for
much
Los
better
Pumas.
that time by Gonzalez Iglesias. A tougher kick, but no mistake, and it was well fielded by the Argentines. That's a quick selfie as well with a match ball. This is a try, the end of the try here is Moroney. Beats 1, beats 2, pops it back inside to Hernandez, but that came from a counter-attack. It was that man, Aguja, broke the first tackle, set up the midfield ruck, and it was finished by Hernandez.
The great man, now 33 years of age, but he has signed on for the Super franchise. That's the number 8, Issa. Socino and Montoya. Argentina happy to move the ball inside their quarter. Keep it in hand. Matera.
Right, push.
Hernandez going into first receiver. Socino. Montoya. They're all lining up here, the big lock. Salamano. Supported by Petty. And also Orlandi. That's Issa. Cleverly slipped it back. It was only a tackle, general play. Earlier infringement.
Yeah, it's just Pascal Gazer just explaining there the penalty coming off their feet on the wrong side, and you can see already that Argentina are here to play. They're going to keep the ball, they're going to build the phases against Namibia, try and tire the Namibian brave defence. But there's a lovely touch there from Landajo as he popped it through his legs to that man Hernandez.
So we're now with Julian Montoya, the 21-year-old.
Stay.
And Matera. Strong running from Socino. That defence really didn't move up that time, and they're going to be under pressure here.
Look to tackle, George. Midfield.
Morosino taking it over the 22.
No call.
Ball lost ahead.
Better defence in the end there by Namibia, but they were always very reactive to the Argentina attack. What the best defences do is they put the pressure on the attack, whereas Namibia there, they were just waiting to see what happened. They've got just, a TMO, a check
George, I would like
for Pascal Gazer.
Yes, I'll put it up on the screen for you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
That's the voice of George Ayoub from Australia, who's been one of the outstanding TMOs at the Rugby World Cup.
It was a slightly late challenge. I think Grayling was committed, but it's head high. It's hit Hernandez in the head. There's no arms in it. It's not a nice looking challenge.
Well, Hernandez also was sort of going down as he
Pascal,
passed the ball.
all the angles.
Slip a bit.
Yeah. One more.
Would you like to have another look?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the problem, the player coming in. Did he use his arms in the tackle? It certainly was high.
Yeah, we'll have another look. It was. You're right, Hernandez is on his way down.
I didn't see clearly the big screen.
He went down, didn't he?
He did go down.
Now, go ahead,
probably
Pascal,
a penalty,
there are
I think,
the angles.
for the late challenge.
And your recommendation? Because I can't.
The player was slipping when the red player went to tackle him.
Yeah.
And he did get him high.
Yeah. Just a penalty. Agree with that?
I think bit more than the penalty. I think he
Penalty.
didn't use his arms.
Yeah, penalty and yellow card
Yes,
against the
correct.
player. Can you have the number, please?
It was certainly borderline between a penalty and a yellow card,
Number 13.
13,
but
yeah.
the officials have erred on the side of
The
caution.
ball carrier slippery, but the ball carrier slippery in the field, but with the arm, is a high tackle, is a penalty and yellow card against you.
Yellow card, so he slipped. Surely he slipped.
But with the arm on the head, is a yellow card. It's fine.
We were sitting up here thinking, well, a yellow card was probably sufficient there because of the way he slipped over Hernandez.
Yeah. And there's Martin Johnson. I don't think he agrees with the decision. Hernandez is on his way down. It's slightly late, and it's obviously Grayland's shoulders caught Hernandez in the head. There's no malicious intent there. You see his head's turning as well. I think a penalty would have been fairer. But, well, Grayland's going to spend 10 minutes in the bin.
I think that's a harsh call, and I think Martin Johnson's reaction told the story.
I think he had that reaction to every yellow card they saw, I think. Yeah, there's anything malicious from that man, JC Grayland, and disappointing for him. He'll feel as if he's let his teammates down, but he was only trying to make an impact. He was only trying to stop the wave of Argentinian attack.
Well, what tipped it over was the suggestion there were no arms in the tackle, but again, that was touch and go as well. He was happy with that one. Gonzalez Iglesias gets his first penalty, and Argentina hits double figures.
Yeah, stretches the lead to 10. There's Phil Davis in the middle. Closest to us. He's the head coach of Namibia.
Peter Rousseau in the
closer as well. Played against him as well, left winger for the Springboks. Incredibly quick, rangy stride, an incredible try score for the Springboks, and he'll be disappointed that Namibia trail 10 points to 0 with a man in the bin.
Ortega Decio with good aerial skills. 12 from halfway. It's the big lock.
It's a tackle!
Petty.
Mike?
I think he regathered. Play on. Play advantage. Trump is a trump. The 24-year-old Wanderers has the stadium in raptures.
Well done, Johan Trump, the first to react to the loose pass. He got his toe to it once, twice. He got a bounce to the ball, and he scores his second try in Rugby World Cup. It brought a smile to Phil Davis's face, but he was the first to react. This is the knock-on from Landajo, and then after this, the ball is knocked on. It's then whipped out to Hernandez, who palms it on, and then look at Trump. He's first to react. He's going to play the whistle. He gets fortunate with the first fly half. The second is class, and he scores between the posts.
Well, what we've learnt about these Namibians is that you can never write them off. They're never beaten, as they showed against Georgia. They were down 17-6, and they came back to 17-16 and almost snatched it.
Great, and there's the extras added by Kotze, and that's brought this crowd to life. Both Argentina and the Namibian fans on their feet for that try by Trump. The game's on.
This is Conrad Murray, just inside his quarter. Well, that's certainly given some encouragement to the Namibians, who've been under the cosh in the early stages. Argentina cruising to a 10-0 lead, but just a series of mistakes, and it was Trump to take advantage. And we're almost back to the halfway after 14 minutes.
Yeah, good clearance kick by that man. Kotze is the highest point scorer for Namibia. Scored, well, that was 33rd point so far this World Cup with that conversion. He'll guide his team around the field. Plays in France.
Hold!
Landajo then to Cecino, and a lovely inside ball to Moroney. Hernandez. Cecino just getting over the advantage line, but very good defence from Van Jaarsveld. Again, there's good numbers here for Argentina.
Yeah, I know.
Julian Montoya ducked under a high one, and they've lost it again.
No,
Moroney
Matthias.
back with Namibia.
No, Matthias, no call. Blue, release, blue, release.
Morea.
Off feet, blue.
We're midway between 22 and halfway. Kotza. Ambitious.
It's over.
I like it. This trump again. Cecino saves the day. This is Petty. Look to go forwards. And a knock on from Neguero Paz.
Stop.
Well, some wonderful improvisation from Namibia.
Yeah, 14 men Namibia. As Pascal goes out, has to calm things down a little bit. A couple of fiery nations out there, but yeah, some lovely attack. We said Kotza would guide his team around the field, but watch this. He looks at members, 14 Namibians in the field. He thinks, I'm just going to chip over to Trump, who caught it wonderfully well. This is a good tackle by Ezaguja, and then Soshino, who's been impressive, ball in hand.
Space.
Saves the day defensively with interception. That's a lovely take. He didn't break stride, did Johan Trump.
Ready?
And Soshino, well, he just read it and got the ball back for
It's
Argentina.
fine. Is it left? Fine. Come on, Chewy.
Yeah, that'll frustrate the Argentinian. 6 handling errors already. They're trying to play a lot of rugby, but in order to be successful, you've got to be accurate. And there's too many already. 6 handling errors. Only 1 for the Namibians.
Well, they're giving the crowd plenty of value. In fact, both teams are. As we come with Kotza, they're playing it down in opposition territory. Morosino then working to Hernandez.
7, woo!
Deft placement with the kick, well covered by Bota. Morosino at the back for Argentina. And he's going to make sure of his touch, as we're almost to halfway and almost through the first quarter. It's Argentina by 10-7.
Yeah, there's Morosino there. A lovely silky runner. That time he chose to put the ball off the field and into touch and try and start from the set piece.
Numbers.
Initially, the first 10 minutes we saw Argentina run that, didn't with the counter-attack. They scored a try from counter-attack.
6.
But as the pressures come on when the Namibian score, they've gone for safety.
Wait.
Ulanidi
No, 9.
is the money man,
9 right.
as he is for Brive in the top 14 in France. Impressive driving maul here from Namibia.
Once. Wait, 5.
Damon's then. Morea, they're hungry, aren't they? They're calling for it. Kotza. And the Argentinian defence read it well. Hernandez back to Stevens. Morea again. Namibia not worried about reputations. They're here to win the game. Van Jaarsveld takes it ahead.
1.
And coming in on the sides.
Nice came through the gate.
Yeah,
1.
Jaco Engels getting penalised for coming in for the
1.
side. Just
Side.
unfortunate for Namibia because they were building some good phases there. There's a nice piece of defence by Soshino as he came in. There was actually an overlap in the wide right-hand side for Namibia, but Soshino stepped up, cut off the pass. And this is Marai chasing the high kick, getting it back, taking it out of the hands of Morosino. And he's been busy in the opening 18 minutes or so. There's number 1, Jaco Engels. He's got to come back on his own side and drive over. He comes in from the side, and he's quite rightly penalised.
Landaho working to Moroney. He's proved very elusive so far. And they're away again. Matthias Moroney. And that was paper-thin defence. That will disappoint Namibia.
Yeah, it broke through 3 or 4 tackles, didn't it? Interestingly, every line out from Argentina has been passed from 9 to either 12 or as this time 14. They're not going 9 to 10, they're challenging the defence at the back of the line out in that space between the tail line out and the first defender. But there's 3, 4, 5 tackles, and then he skips out the last one and scores under the posts. That's about the leg drive in the tackle. He never surrenders at all. He drives through, keeps the ball alive, keeps his legs pumping, and Moroney, who's had 2 or 3 breaks in this right-hand side, scores the second try of the afternoon for Argentina.
Well, he's usually an outside centre, and he's had 3 years in the Puma's 7-a-side team, and those 7 skills really coming through. What a beautiful stepper and mover he is.
Yeah, strong as well, isn't he? Strong runner. The Namibians couldn't get a shoulder contact in any tackle. They were all grabbing by the hands. And such a powerful runner. See, there's not a decent shoulder contact in these. It's all reaching for the ball, reaching for the man. And Moroney just drives through each one of those attempted tackles and scores.
And Southern Hemisphere fans will be seeing plenty of him in the new Super competition for 2016. Matthias Moroney, the 24-year-old who made his debut against the Scots last year in Cordoba.
Already 5 carries. He's been busy.
Namibia doing it tough with that very unfortunate sin binning of J.C. Grayling.
Yeah, well, it was 7-0 in that period of the... Well, I suppose it was 10. They scored 3 points from the penalty given away at the sin bin, but then after that it was 1 try apiece. So Namibia can be happy with how they managed that period. But they'll be disappointed with that try they conceded just there to Moroney.
Space. Crutch!
Hernandez is standing on the left.
Bind! Set.
Issa then feeds to Landaho Amorosino. Pass was behind him. And Kotze with the tackle. Natera. Supported by Petty.
Leave it, Sue!
10-metre line, Namibia territory. Hernandez. Oh, it's a big tackle on Issa. Great work there by Kutsia. He came over the top, underneath as well. Cicino, Morosino. Elusive, lovely offload, Matera. He's punching them up like flies. Swatting them away.
Option.
Well, Argentina have had a lot of joy down this right-hand flank, that man especially. Matera, number 6, carrying this. A wonderful offload by Amorosino. And Matera took it on. It was a fend on Tinas Kotze. First up, a second handoff from the chest of Van Jaarsveld, and it was that little guy again. Stevens tackling the same person in the same part of the ground. He was helped out by Botha, his mate, coming over the top. But Matera's carrying hard. He's making inroads into this Namibian defence.
10! Blue at 10. Beyond.
And again, that aerial skill from Uanivi. Some untidy work, though. Advantage for Argentina. They want to go here. Cicino. Matera. Pass to no one. Hooker. Montoya.
No, leave it, 7.
Orlandi. Now it's Hernandez again. Almost intercepted, but it wasn't. And it's another one. And it's the great man, Horacio Oguja.
Check that. Yes, we need to check.
We're going to check, I think. We're looking for a bit of crossing, I think, from the TMO.
For me, fine.
But Aguja looks like he scored. We have a double look. We're looking for some crossing here, a bit of blocking. Well, it looks to me like both has made the decision to come in and got an isolated rather than being taken out by the man. Both are, for me, the 15's already made the commitment to come in. I don't think he'd have got to Aguja.
Yeah,
but we'll see what George Ayoub says.
He was in a realistic position to catch it, and the ball was passed away from him. So I think the defender went for the blue player.
Yeah, it's good.
I think that's George agreed with us, Gordon.
Okay.
Yeah, tries awarded Aguja. I said in pre-match, he's such a hard man to tackle, put down. Well,
it's fine.
He just run at the space there. He didn't have to break a tackle, and he's delighted, the smile on his face.
Yes, good call there by the TMO. Third try for Los Pumas.
And who initiates the contact is a different.
Although there's been a little bit of spilt ball there, they are really enjoying themselves and turning it on here for the fans. He liked it again. He picked up the tee straight away.
Yeah, it's a good kick. Well, I think the first one's a blip because he's been on form since then. Gonzalez Iglesias, this is Aguja's try. That man Hernandez pulling the strings. Amorosino with a killer pass out to Aguja. And that was well celebrated by Aguja. Used to play here in Leicester, now plays at Bath. And he'll be delighted with that try, 6th international try.
Well, he was in the Rugby World Cup playoff back in 2007 for the bronze medal, which was won by Argentina over the host nation in Paris. Morosino getting in there as the first receiver. And the Argentinian front rows love to get involved with the ball carries.
Hold 4.
And this is well weighted. Taken away by Alamano. 10 from halfway. They're queuing up on the left. Montoya. Hernandez with a quick switch. This is Petty. And Morosino. And Hernandez. Van Liel coming over the top halfway line.
Really fearing first receiver. The Argentinians, forwards and backs. 10s, 12s, 15s in there, just always changing the point of attack.
Well, they're working numbers beautifully, aren't they? Numerical numbers. They've ruled a forward pass. It was marginal.
Yeah. They're really comfortable in the ball. Ortega Dezo, he's been wonderful in the ball, plucking balls out the air. That time his pass just drifted forward. Me, he says. Well, we'll have another look in the replay. There's some wonderful handling in there. Oh, there's not a lot in that, Gordon. It's Matero and Moroney on this right-hand flank again, but the ball probably just drifted forward from that man.
But the thing is that the ball was passed backwards from the hands. If it drifts forward, it shouldn't be an issue.
It's been a talking point all World Cup, hasn't it? That, the directive from World Rugby used to be if the hands went backwards and the ball moved forwards and it was okay. It seems to be now if the ball moves forwards and it's a forward pass. But good defence at that point. They had to put more line speed, put Ortega Des under pressure, and they did.
5 from halfway. Here comes Morea. And well taken by Hernandez.
Turnover. It's fine.
Navy taking it to within 4 metres of halfway. Here comes that man Tromp, looking for another spilt ball.
10 meter.
Morosino sees some space. He steps beautifully. What a run! And then he spilt the beans.
What an attack for Amorosino. Said before, he was an amazing runner. Another difficult man to bring down, and we'll listen to the ovation for that 80-yard burst. He'll be frustrated with how it ended, but he called for the mark. It was a good take from a good kick, and then he just took off ball in one hand, and he went an amazing run, didn't he? Beating defenders left, right and centre. I think that's Grayling making it back, or Dazel making the tackle, but the ball just popped out his hands. And look, there's Amorosino. He knows that all that hard work was for no reward because he turned it over towards the end. But the footwork, the pace, the vision was all there.
Chris, that stepping at pace, reminiscent of David Campese.
Yeah, I don't think Campo would have knocked it on towards the end. He had a killer instinct in him, but Amorosino scored a wonderful try. Unfortunately for me, against Scotland in the pro game last time out in 2011, he scored the match-winning try, similar to that. But that time he couldn't hold on, he couldn't capitalise. But everybody here is enjoying the atmosphere. Argentina leading 24-7 after half an hour, and we've seen a lot of rugby so far.
Namibians are starting to fall off a lot of tackles.
Left.
And that certainly is a danger sign for them. They don't want to run up a big score. In their 2 previous World Cup clashes.
There's a problem there, got.
Yeah. Their 2 previous clashes, they've conceded 19 tries against Argentina. Already the Pumas have 3 here at Leicester City Stadium.
I suppose it's a warning to them, maybe if you kick too far or if you kick loosely to this back 3, they're going to punish you.
If you decide here, you stay here. Keep walking. It's good. Crutch! Bind! Stand up, please. You're pre-engage at spine. I need a space. Balance, patience. Control. Touch!
Engels, Van Jaarsveld and Kutsia
Bind!
for Namibia.
Set.
Engels on this side. Namibian scrum
Your
has
feet
done
are too
very
far.
well.
I need a long bind for you, long bind. And you close your feet. Fine?
And
Long bind for you.
Jaco Engels
Close your
pointing
feet.
to the assistant referee, saying that he's binding on my arm and pulling me down.
The success at scrum time on their own possession, 79% for Argentina so far in the tournament, 73 for Namibia. Not a lot in it. And we said before, Kutsia, he's been penalised 12 times in scrum time. The Namibian tight head.
Set. Use the ball.
Coming out then for Kotsa. And that's Dazel. Tromp, the try scorer. There's a huge clean out there from Uanivi. So Namibia retaining possession, about 12 from halfway. There's a Mexican wave going on here as Tromp chases hard. Nearly got it again.
Check, red.
It would have been try number 2 if successful. And he's giving a tremendous performance on that right wing for Namibia.
By the 5 red.
Yeah, we're going to check something as well, the TMO.
Pascal,
Yeah.
I would like to check a neck grab by the red team.
Yeah.
Okay,
TMO. Where is?
it's a neck grab here. He's cleared out around the neck.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Okay.
good. Why is the
Well-
position? Just a penalty?
Yeah,
It's just a penalty, surely.
Dazel.
He's got his,
Matera,
is he
I think,
on the
Pascal,
neck
just
or the
have another
shoulder? Now,
Pascal,
Yeah.
number 12 red, neck grab, clear out,
Yeah.
penalty.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
Why is the mark?
back on the near the 22.
Yeah, here.
Yes.
It was certainly high,
Wait,
that was
wait,
the
wait,
problem,
no.
but it wasn't a malicious neck tackle or neck clean
Neck
out.
drop is you, number 2. Yeah, number 2 is clear.
Number 12. Number 12. Number 12.
And Chris, just to give you an idea of the way Argentina is playing, Aguja's try means this is the third successive World Cup match where both Pumas wingers have scored.
Yeah, gives an insight into how their game's developed and how they're trying to play the game with width. And scoring on the flanks. And they're looking for another one here as Hernandez chips it in the corner, only 7 metres out from the Namibian line. Those penalties, it's so difficult for the players because for so long that clear out was what was coached, that's what was, I suppose, expected. But now anything around the neck, anything that twists or rolls is out loud.
It's fine, it's fine.
Clever defence by Namibia, standing off a drive and coming back round to make the tackle.
Stay red!
That's Matera. Pumas looking for a fourth try and a bonus point. Montoya, the hooker. Landaho looking to the open side. Hernandez smashing into the play there. It was Aguja. Some big hits from Orlandi.
Some big hits from the Namibian defence, isn't there? They've got the bit between their teeth. Moran, Murray certainly stepped up and hit Aguja. Tuna Ives not going to let it pass either. There's Aguja, came off his left wing. He was hit hard by Murray, his opposite number. Some good bravery in defence by Namibia. Montoya made ground initially. Look at the leg drive. Pumping forward in from this.
It was the big hit there from Jaco Engels.
Engels is in there as well, so a bit of pride in the line, a bit of pride in defence for Namibia. And the force to knock on.
And Van Jaarsveld also injured in that skirmish.
High ref in play. Thank you very much.
All the handling errors coming from the Pumas, and that's credit to Namibia's defence too.
Absolutely, that one there, that's what I was going to say, was forced by the pressure from defence. Some of them earlier on from Argentina, but unforced, that was forced.
Fine! Set! It's going to be collapsing. No, wait. Look. Simon.
There's Jaco Engels, he's pumped up.
Captain. 9, Captain.
Pascal Gazer's just going to calm everything down.
Yes, I am.
Number 9.
Good luck calming him down.
I think the call may have come from assistant referee Jerome Garces.
The game was very good during 35 minutes. And last to my decision, some player coming to push another player. You start, and you react, okay? Some player of you. I let you time, calm down, to relax. Okay. Just talk with the player and talk with your player.
Give me 10 seconds?
Yeah, I'll give you 10 seconds, yeah? Talk with the player.
So there's the scrum going down. Engels losing his bind. The call came from the assistant referee. Frustration for Namibia.
Fine.
Pascal, there is nothing that I can see on the screens, on the replays. Okay.
Just collapse in the scrum.
The referee speaking to both captains. Kitshoff, incidentally, captaining Namibia for the first time since 2007 because of the injury to Berger.
Fine.
Yeah, Manila to use his leadership qualities here. Argentina famed for their catch and drive, so close to the line. Namibia stood off the last one.
Taken by Petty. They can't stop this one. Matera.
Try.
Or was it the number 8 Issa?
Yeah, some ugly scenes of spell, frustration coming in here. There's nothing you can do when the try's been awarded, just take your medicine, get back. channel your aggression the right way from the next kick-off.
Ridiculous. Try.
Chris, I think this was indeed not Matera, but Facundo
I'm
Isa,
checking for you, Pascal.
the number 8 here.
It's a throw to the front of the line out, and then if you don't stop this initially, it's very, very hard afterwards. It's a suggestion the ball was kind of knocked forward, but it was hit the line, it was scored first. Once this ball is on the move, you can't pull it down, you can't stop it in time.
Just push and shove.
And there's a try there, a great shot with the try being scored, and afterwards, as Isa celebrates, well, there's a bit of frustration from the Namibians, but as I said, there's nothing you can do now. The try's been given. Take your medicine.
That's the bonus point then. 4th try for the Pumas. But you've got to say that both sets of fans here today are creating a phenomenal atmosphere at this farewell to Rugby World Cup at Leicester City Stadium. His nickname is Retty. Stocky at nearly 14 stones. Santiago Gonzalez Iglesias. .22 margin.
So the scores, Argentina 29.
Yeah, and here's a try here. It's just the weight of numbers. Once the momentum's going, once the roll's got on, it's very hard to stop. Matera looks after the ball well. I think it's actually... There's Matera scoring the line.
We got it right the first time.
We were right. We should have backed ourselves.
Shouldn't have doubted himself. Pablo Matera there. Great work here by Uanivi.
Tackle, release 4. Stay, blue.
Stevens. That's the captain, Kitsoff. Looks like a turnover. No, they're still holding on here through Conradi.
Good strike by Conradi. Good ball placement as well.
Engels. He's got Fandol out. Now you've got a turnover. And Argentina regroup quickly out here on the left. Here's the stepper, Morosino. A one-hander. Ortega Decio. Halfway line. Hernandez. Just so quick to react. And there's 7 against 3 if they get it quickly. This is the prop forward. Orlandi. Flat pass.
Flat. No rush.
Hernandez. Lovely dummy. This is trouble. He had to juggle it.
And both of them made the tackle. What a hit for the fullback.
That's the hooker now, Montoya.
Release! Release! Right, release!
Slowed down by Namibia. Seconds before half-time. They're looking for try number 5. That's Alamano. They just keep coming, Argentina. Agoja from the left wing. Ortega Decio. Can Namibia hold out before half-time as Lahando snuck through a little gap? Flick backwards, no knock on, and that's a try to the prop. Naguero Paz, but the referee has spotted something.
Yeah, we're going to have a look at Timo. He's going to check some. I think there was a knock on. The
Yes,
first one was
Pascal.
fine.
Try yes or no.
Try yes or no.
Judge check before. If not try, I'm back to the penalty.
Penalty, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looked, try yes or no, as the question that was asked. It looked as if there was 2 knock-ons. The first one was okay, and then there was maybe a slight knock-on just in the pickup prior to the grounding. But we're going to double check.
I check. I check. Try yes or no.
That was Matera. That was judged to have gone back.
And it seemed to be knocked back by the number 6, the captain.
And it's whether there was a knock on there. It was picked up in the end by Nogueira's pass.
Definitely the ball knocked out by Kitshoff, number 6. That's off the legs.
Yeah.
Soccer skills.
George?
And Nogueira Paz might be in
Yes, I'm
luck.
just having another look.
Yes, it's good.
No problems there. And as Kotze kicks it, that's not hit Lisa's hands. I think this is going to be a try.
For me, George, the tackler touch the ball and move forward. And after the Blues score the try, I make a word a try.
Nogueira Paz.
Yes, the ball has been knocked out by the red player, and it did go backward as well.
Agree.
His second
Ball
World
is
Cup
knocked
try.
down by the tackler, I make a word a try.
Yes, sir.
Try. You knock the ball in the tackle and you have nothing.
Well, it took a wee while to get there, but that man's absolutely delighted. He'll appreciate that. Nogueira's pass, lovely pick up and dive ball, and he slams the ball down for his second international try. That came from sustained pressure by Argentina through the phases, and Namibia just couldn't hold on any longer. And an important scour just before half-time.
And what an impressive young prop forward he is. He has signed with the Argentinian franchise, the Super franchise, but I'm sure the Northern Hemisphere clubs will be circling to try and get hold of him. But these guys have committed to their country for the Super Championship next year. Santiago Gonzalez Iglesias, last play before half-time. And it's a commanding lead for Los Pumas, 36-7. They've run in 5 tries, and they have really turned it on here at the Leicester City Stadium. Leicester City Football Club's home, enjoying the final match that they've hosted in Rugby World Cup as Matera picks up the rebound. Mandaho finds some space here for Socino.
No tackle.
Argentina looking to pick up where they left off. But
No
Nogueira
Conrad.
Paz, the try scorer,
Conrad.
not able to handle that one. Hernandez calls for it. Iglesias,
It's over.
Gonzalez.
Sorry.
That's Alemano. Montoya.
Argentina winning the kick-off back again by Ortega Desia's skills in the air, and they're just building momentum, building pressure at the start of the second half.
Leave it to red.
Pushing up towards 10 phases now as Matera takes ahead. And sealing off.
I don't need your help.
Is the call.
Straight down.
Putting the hands over the top so that the opponents couldn't get to it of the tackle player.
Yeah. Sealing off there, off your feet, past the ball, not allowing a fair challenge for possession for Argentinians. And it gives Namibia a chance to clear.
One blue. Straight down.
I'm going to have a look at it now as Argentina were building pressure. Number 1, sealing off, gluing your feet. The blue scrum cap there, you've got to stay on your feet, drive forward, take the defender out if there's a defender there. If not, you still have to stay on your feet, take the space. You can't flop over the ball and touch the ground.
Hold! Over 15.
Luanivi.
No, release.
Controlled at the back here by
Leave it
Kitshoff.
for. That's once. Use now.
Stevens. Dazel did well. Now on Argentina's side of halfway. Uanivi. Kotze. That's Van Liel. And the hooker Van Jaarsveld. Potzer again. Ooh, not sure about that decision.
On the tackle.
That was a sandwich.
By blue player.
As Montoya is back up and putting another tackle in. Full of commitment.
Borter in from fullback. Van Leeuw pinned his ears back. Daisel lost a head. Referee plays advantage.
Avantage, no call red. Stay 15.
Here we go. Argentina looking to break from deep, keep the ball alive.
And showing great handling and support skills. Montoya, the hooker, was there. Alemano. That's the 22-metre line. This is Argentina's highest ever half-time score in a World Cup. And they were there from the first one in '87.
Well, Hernandez just decides enough's enough after that incredible piece of play. And within that piece of play is a lovely piece of skill from Daisel, the try scorer against the All Blacks. And look at that, drawing two defenders in as Gonzalez Iglesias comes in. It's a lovely pass round the back. And then, well, that just made Montoya angry. The Argentinian hooker, good challenge. He held on to Kotze. They didn't slam him down. They didn't take him past the horizontal. It was a good, fair tackle by that man, Montoya. He's been impressive with the ball in hand, and he's impressive defensively as well with shots like that. But in the end, the ball's kicked a touch, and Namibia can attack again.
Stevens has got to get those passes right as Kitsov. Got a pretty solid tackle there from Gonzalez Iglesias. Stevens proving a loser. Kutsia takes a hit. Again, it was a loose pass. Advantage here for Aguja and the Pumas.
No Conrad, blue.
Engels trying to win the ball. Moroney then. That's the halfway line away to the left.
Argentina just going through the phases of trying to tire out the Namibian defence.
Here's a turnover. This is Grayling. JC Grayling. They again feed on a Pumas mistake. The man who was sin-binned in the first half.
Yeah, JC Grayling, just as the referee called advantage over, there was another loose pass from Argentina, and JC Grayling and scooped it up. He kicked out the first tackle, he had the pace to get there, and he had that wonderful feeling on the rugby field where once he got through this tackle, he knew he was in an international arena, in a Rugby World Cup fixture. He had 10 metres to savour the feeling, savour the atmosphere, and celebrate before he touches down. Look what it means to him. Fantastic.
He gave it the DTH Vandermerwe.
He did.
Pump of the fist.
A big smile all the way in. The extras added by Kotze. That's a second breakaway try from Namibia. Well done, Namibia.
Red 3.
Sashino's pass just couldn't be taken by Neguero's pass. And this moment here, look, he's got 15 metres to enjoy it, not 15 minutes. And Phil Davis, well, he's enjoying it too. So are they.
Grayling made his debut against Germany last year. He plays for the old Wesley College. How good was that? Say the Namibian fans. We want more. Well, that could have been.
Is a lifter, no landing.
Could have been pretty spectacular, but in the end, Kitsov not able to hold on.
Or the lifter don't support the ball carrier. Is the reason why.
Yeah, it's Damons,
number 8.
Damons. Wonderful athleticism, but just couldn't hold it under the pressure.
It's your first time. Patience.
It was a genuine contest for possession from both players, or all players involved in that, so there's no doubt about taking the man out in the air. And it was his lifters that eventually let go of him. A great effort to try and win possession back from Damons.
Long ball. Stretch. Ball. Set.
Wonderful attacking opportunity here for Argentina. Got to work them over. This is Moroney, Hernandez, and Morosino. Clever kick. Agusha's there. That man was offside.
No call. Offside.
They'll play on quickly. Agusha. This is Isa.
Red form.
Montoya is outside, and it's a big lock. Alamano.
Well, no doubt in there, Alamano. The Argentinians hit back right away. It was a quick tap penalty taken by Landajo. A drive from Isa towards the line. And as the Namibian defence was spreading out, shifting left to try and cover the space out wide, Matthias Alamano. Well, he just picked and went just over the top of the ball, right to the side of the rack. This is a quick tap. That's Isa carrying hard into the defensive line. As you can see, the Namibians trying to reorganise. Alamano just took the space right beside the ruck and drove up the line.
He started against Georgia, came off the bench against Tonga, and he's come through that Argentinian Junior World Cup team. And what a shame Diego Maradona isn't here today. I'm sure he will be back and dreaming with the whole of the country for Argentina in this World Cup.
Exactly, Gordon. And Argentina will be progressing. And they'll progress with a lot of hope because they're finding their game here. They're always dynamic up front, but they've had a lovely balance to the game. There's a score just to the side of the ruck after a pick and go. They've scored from a driving maul. Both wingers have been on the score sheet. They're looking good, and the coach will be happy.
Crowd of just over 31,000 here at Leicester City Stadium. They've been delighted that Namibia's been able to manage a couple of tries, but the Pumas are a big chance in this Rugby World Cup.
Tackle! Good some tackle. Good. Win on tackle.
And just repeating, they'll be playing the winner of this afternoon's match between Ireland and France. That'll be next Sunday at Millennium Stadium in Cardiff.
10. Blue. Number 10. 10. 10.
Well, Juan Martin Hernandez, his job's done for today. Some lovely touches, a try scorer as well, and he comes off to the claim. As he plays by Marcelo Bosch, who plays in England for the Saracens club.
Both team. Fine.
Julian Montoya.
Hold.
Lamano, the try scorer, with a clean take as Isa took ahead ruggedly. Ten from halfway, Pumas territory. Alamano just spilling the beans.
And declare the reserve prop coming up, putting a bit of pressure on the Argentina's
One
attack.
red and two red.
And here's a big moment.
And what a big moment, yes. The most capped Namibian. Redelinghuis, Johnny Redelinghuis, the prop forward, his 50th cap, He's the man who travels a round trip of 340 kilometres just to attend training. The most capped Namibian.
Slow pull, patience.
Well, he was afforded the honour of leading out the Namibian team here today.
Crunch! Bye! Set.
Stevens. Kutzer, JC Grayling. Opportunity for Trump. Almost his second.
Well, what an effort by Trump. Just caught short. That's a lovely piece of play by Kutzer, and then Diesel, well, he set Trump away and just dragged agonisingly short, and as he stretched to try and reach it, the ball was ripped from his grasp. Good tackle by Iglesias. And Senatori coming in to help out as well. Phil Davis thought he'd made it, and then he realised he hadn't.
All's okay?
Yes.
Well, he's had a busy day, Trump, hasn't he? He's looked lively.
A lot of fresh legs coming out for Namibia now to try and ram home their advantage here. Langaho.
Wait.
Yes, it's fine.
Captain and scrum half, replaced by Thomas Kubeli, who's probably the first choice scrum half here, number 21.
No, check.
42nd cap. And word is that he may be going to the ACT Brumbies and not playing for the Super franchise. We'll just listen.
We want to check potential dangerous tackle
Yeah.
by a red player.
Yeah.
We'll put it on the screen for you, Pascal.
Can you put on the screen, please? I'll wait.
I'm looking for a dangerous tackle here. I think it's after the ball's been passed by Tinas Kutzer. Oh, yeah, that doesn't look good. Kutzer's certainly taken beyond the horizontal. It's Bosch.
Marcelo Bosch, one of the gun players.
As soon as you take someone up there, you have to take care and place him back to the ground. You can't drop him, you can't drive him into the ground. It's your responsibility to take the player down safely. Let's see how he lands.
He certainly didn't drive him down. It wasn't malicious.
And he didn't actually let go. Now, Kutzer's landing his head, but Bosch holds onto him all the way. I think he can take more care in how he puts him down.
Yeah. Pascal?
Yeah.
They're all the angles.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to have a look at that?
No, that's fine. For me, it's a lift tackle.
Yes.
And the landing of the player is on the chest, and it's penalty and yellow card against 22.
Correct.
Yeah, correct? Yeah,
correct.
That's good.
Marcelo Bosch, I think, did take due care there. That he didn't go through with the tackle, he didn't drive him into the turf, but it's going to be a sin bin.
It's a lift tackle, he's landing on the chest, it's yellow card against you.
Bosch just saying, I pulled out the tackle even though I lifted him above the horizontal.
Yeah, the problem was once you lift the player above the horizontal, and especially there, Kutzer was almost 180 degrees. It was almost straight down at the ground, but in all honesty, Marcelo Bosch knew that. He held on to him, he didn't drive him into the ground. So, probably a fair decision in the end.
And I must say there has been, to my mind, a disconnect between the officials and the sighting officials. And in that instance there, I just hope it doesn't result in a further suspension. Classic case was the Tuilangi suspension for 5 weeks. They appealed and it was reduced to 2. And many people felt it shouldn't have been any weeks at all. Kotza to Dazel. It's Border at the back.
Fine, backwards. Sure.
Van Leeuw.
Backwards player. Agree.
Namibia then with an extra man. Conradi takes ahead.
Push.
Botha to Dezel. Testing time now for the Pumas. Kotza, lovely ball inside. Botha! Crunching tackle there from Moroney. Still a chance. Dezel over Morea's head. And look out. Ogota. Morea came back with the tackle.
What a tackle by Morea. Chased Guja, got round the ankles, brought him to deck. End-to-end stuff here, Gordon. And we're off again, we're off again.
They're going again here. Pass drifted forward. What a shame.
Well, the players are still playing. Pascal Gazer's blown his whistle 2 or 3 times. His body's all over the turf. Namibia, they took the quick throw in, got it wide, and the ball just drifted forward from that man Botha. There's a quick throw in. It's got everyone by surprise, and as it comes out to Botha, oh, he's hit hard, the ball drifts forward and kicks off. Well, he doesn't get a free run. Just before that, Botha made a fantastic break of an inside pass as well, which was tackled by Moroney, and there was big hits left, right and centre this game. Although it's gone on the scoreboard for Namibia, they're still really enjoying themselves, testing the Argentinian defence. And the guys at that, Botha, when he gets some open spaces, is a dangerous attacker.
Same. Crunch! Bind! Set.
Almost disrupting the Argentinian scrum, forcing a loose pass. Kubeli to halfway. That's Moroney. Namibia scrapping well. It's Petty.
Knock on red. No, that's fine.
Looked to the naked eye to be a knock on the other way.
It's knock on red. Release. Okay, first knock on red.
Certainly one of that hard pass to the Argentinian attacker appeared to go forward.
Yeah, it looked as if it came forward of blue, didn't it? There's a couple of changes. I think Namibia are tiring. There's a few big hits. This is a pass we thought had gone forward with blue. I don't think it actually hit a red player either.
Well, that's a knock on 99 times out of 100, isn't it?
Yeah, you'd have thought so.
Tennis Duplessis coming on. Botha replaced by Van Feit.
Square.
Tries to get a trot, goes to fullback. Van Wyk comes on the right wing.
Square. Keeps in mind. Crunch! Bind! Set.
And Morosino, well, that's Gonzalez Iglesias into fly half. And things getting just a little untidy for the Pumas over the last few minutes.
Yeah, forward pass, actually really good scrum by Namibia there. Really strong scrum in the front row. As has been changed, de Klerk on this tight head side, and Rildenhouse really locking out in that front row for Argentina. And as it went wide, the ball drifted forward from that man Amorosino. And the reward for having a good scrum is getting an opportunity 2 seconds later.
Van Leeuw just a little tardy on the right. Coming back to this scrum.
There's a stat there that will annoy the coaches, especially the Argentinian coaches. 15 handling errors. Some of them forced, which happen. The ones that are unforced, the ones that have been poor passes and forward passes like that. That will frustrate the players and the coaches, and they'll need to tighten those up as they go forward in the tournament.
Ingles, an angry man.
Crunch! Bye! Set!
Just short of halfway. And they pushed them right off the ball for that tight head. Big 8-man Rayada from the full moves.
Backwards.
Referee said backwards.
Release 6!
Moroney. Morosino halfway. Kubeli. Montoya. Ortega Desio comes through to clean outs.
You must release. It's the first man with feet. Never you release.
Yeah, Duke will see you winning the penalty, I think. There he is, just off the bench. He'll make a big impact. He's won the penalty. It's Montoya that was driving forward. He's broken a few tackles, and then Duke got his hands on the ball. Argentina penalised for not releasing.
Well, Duplessis definitely a Jacques Berger lookalike.
5.
Although I've got to say his nose is a bit straighter than Jacques.
Yeah, it's probably not taking just quite as many hits as Jacques Berger. A fantastic player, Berger, a leader. But he's taking his fair share of hits over time. There he is.
Yep, 60 operations, 60 injuries in 2 years. 6 operations on his right knee, 2 on his shoulder, 2 on his cheeks, and a broken hand. And still he keeps coming. They had to knock him out to stop him.
Release! Release, Blue!
It's de Klerk. And pops up. And through the dummy, JC Grayling was looming on the inside.
No tackle.
Battling well. Stevens, lovely pass there to Kotza. Another dummy. Third time proves it. Let the next pass go, and they've given it back. Look out. Cecino, Moroney, Agurja in controlled support. Halfway line.
Great effort by Van Leeuw, wasn't to hold on to the winger. The second row, just hold on.
Herrera.
Backwards. Play on. Backwards.
Morosino. He's the step up. Didn't appear to be any way through there. Now the gap's starting to appear, but Morea comes through. Montoya, the hooker. 40 metres out from Namibia's goal line. Guerapaz. Morosino. Agurja. Lovely offload, Cecino. He should have kept going. Stevens will. Van Leeuw. The counter's on now from Namibia.
That's fine, you can't. You can't. The ball's on the field, play on.
Argentina had pilfered. But then some sealing.
Well, it's untidy at times, but it's incredibly good fun to watch. Here's Agurja breaking the line. And it pops up to Sachio, who has been impressive today. And then he'd actually broken the tackle. He threw it away when he should have kept a hold of it. That's another handling error that will frustrate the Argentinians. And here we go, Conradi makes a tackle, gets his hands over the ball. and wins a penalty.
Morosino keeps the ball in play. We've seen a bit of seven-a-side. We've seen a bit of basketball from Argentina. And Morosino turning the Namibians inside out. Not for the first time today.
The game's lost its structure, but it's a great, entertaining offering we're having. This player's been beaten twice, 3 times in the same move.
Agoja, nice offload to Montoya. Agoja, can they keep up with him? Kubeli, oh look at this, what a try! Leonardo Senatore! Try of the match!
Well, Senatore scores it. There's the celebrations from the Argentinian defence. Well, I think Namibia have just given all they've got. They've given everything. The line's been dropped off. The defence isn't there. And quick ball for the Argentinians. Lovely break again from Aguja. And Senatore, well, he just worked hard up the inside channel, up the middle channel, and finished off the support with a try under the sticks. The players must be absolutely exhausted. That's inside the Argentinian half. Montoya, who's been so dangerous, gave it back to Aguja. Aguja pops it back inside to Kubeli, and then Senatore going all the way up the midfield channel, running up the midfield, gets it back in a big swallow dive between the posts. Here's Morosino. Well, he started it all. This is where the Namibian defenders are just standing off him. And if you stand off Morosino, he'll just dance round you. The tackle was made by Duplessis, but from there it was moved left. Aguja broke the line. Kubeli supported. Senatore finished.
Well, the Pumas are a team that last year beat Australia in the Rugby Championship for the first time in Rosario. This year they beat the Springboks in Cape Town, and they did it emphatically, then made a lot of changes to their side for the return clash in Argentina, lost it. But with their top side on the field, they are an immense challenge in this Rugby World Cup.
20 bucks.
Senatore. Back with Kubeli now. Montoya. Susino. Susino. They're running right. Fernandez Lobe. Kubeli. Fernandez Lobe. Has he got the legs? Oh! How good is that? One him off this time. Chris Patterson said when he comes on he'll score a try. What about the skill?
Wow, I didn't even see him coming on. One him off. He's just got this knack for scoring tries, but this is about team. This is about Argentina. That's Susino breaking the line. Fernandez Lobe, Kubeli, he fires it back inside. This to Fernandez Lobe, one-handed gunslinger off the left hand. Him off tracks and scores. What a try, what a score.
John Wayne will be saluting that pass.
And we've just heard we're going to look at the forward pass. This one here, is it forward from Susino to Fernandez Lobe? It looks a little bit forward. What a disappointment for the game if this is forward, because that was a fantastic effort. Is that forward, Gordon?
Fernandez Lobe, well, it's got to travel forward.
Pass forward.
That's
Pass was
the pass before.
Forward and back to stop. Let's try.
Well, I think it did just travel forward. It's disappointing from the game's point of view.
On the, sorry,
But
the 10-metre line.
they don't care, do
in
they?
the middle. On the 10-metre line.
What a break from
On
Argentina.
the Argentine side of the halfway.
It didn't
Argentine
end
side.
in a try for that man, but it was sparkling rugby to watch.
Well, you've got to say it deserved a try, most certainly. A bit like that Matawale try against England for Fiji, where he just dropped the ball.
Yeah, this is it here. Susino breaks the line and it's just forward, isn't it? Just forward. But look at the support. The work rate of the Namibians to get back and make a tackle.
That was an amazing. That was nearly the pass of the tournament from Fernandez Lobe.
Yeah, the one-handed gunslinger with the left hand for Fernandez. What he did before that was really clever, Fernandez Lobe. He was in space, but he moved it to the quicker man, and then he kept running up that midfield channel to get support. But the result, an attacking opportunity for Namibia.
I know so many props, some new props, but distance, no pre-engage.
So Namibia now through Kotso. And there's a big ball and all tackle by Moroney.
No, back.
Coming back here for Kubeli. Morosino, Cecino and Marcelo Bosch. The man from Saracens. In his second World Cup. Isa, lovely pass. He might get another chance.
No, Seven.
Kubeli flicked it back. Morosino, look out! Oh, behind the back!
Still advantage, 7.
I think we're watching the Harlem Globetrotters at the moment. And what about the courage of the Namibian defence? Still holding the line. Here we go again, Cecino and Morosino, and the hook of Montoya. The 21-year-old scores his 4th try.
Well, he deserved the score, doesn't he? He's been in great form this afternoon. His line out throwing, his scrum and his basics have been good. And his one great ball handling ability and running across the field has been first class. His 4th try.
In the tackle.
He got a try in the last game against Tonga as well.
Yeah, but they had to work hard, didn't it? I mean, look at this. Isa fighting hard. Lovely offload. This was Emil's break, and you all thought, here he is, he's going to get his score now. This was recycled. How Kubeli got this pass away off his leg, I do not know. Popped over to Morosino. Still the Namibians held on, and then eventually they cracked. Montoya found the space, scored this try.
Agustin Pichot, the great scrum half from Argentina, the man who's been a driving force behind the outstanding coach Daniel Okade. There's been a real resurgence in Argentinian rugby. They've been helped by the Rugby Championship. And Gonzalez Iglesias makes no mistake. In fact, that was in fact Cecino who got that conversion. High fives all round for the hooker.
Yeah. We said before the game, didn't we, that towards the last 10-15 minutes, if Namibia tired and if Argentina brought their bench on, then they would make a big impact. And that man going off, try scorer, Montoya, well, he's been replaced by Kreve, and he had an impressive afternoon.
The fans have really revelled in the occasion. And Kubeli goes down to the touchline.
That's just far too sensible, that kick, isn't it? It's
been
carried back in as well, actually, so he'll be frustrated, but yeah. What a game.
It's been such a fun game, Chris, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just the ability to get the hands free in the offloads, because the physicality is there. There's no doubting that. But the control of the ball handling, the offloads, the support play is great to watch.
Argentina through Fernandez Lotte, tried to spoil. Where's that pass gone to?
No, right.
22-metre line ahead.
You also born the tackle here. It's not covered.
Yanchez is on for Stevens at scrum half.
There's the Argentinian bench. That's the pack that started, and there's been changes. Senatore, Lobby, Herrera, Crevi. Some big names there, Gordon.
Yes, and Juan Martin Hernandez on the right there with his young son. Lovely moment for the young fella sitting there in the bench.
It's inspiring, isn't it? Inspiring for the next generation. Very family orientated, the Argentinians. With all the support, so wonderfully supported across the world.
Kubeli. Tough going now for the Namibian scrum. They're just holding it in the back, waiting for the penalty. Senatore. Now they go. Amorosino. Marcelo Bosch. Lovely work again. Intercept. Duplessis. Getting a little too cute that time. The chase is on. And chasing hard is Van Beek. And the big lockers there. Uanivi. But the count is on for the Pumas. That's him off. Slipped away. How did he do that? They've still got it alive in Murray. It is like the Hong Kong Sevens at the moment. This is Nguera Paz. Now it's Fernandez Lobe. They're just marauding upfield at the moment, Argentina. You feel the try is coming. Oh! Thrills aplenty.
Well, I think we're going for a world record of passes, aren't we, Gordon? And that move alone.
Redelinghuis in his last game.
Cabela's away again.
Here's Fernandez Lobe. Trying a Sonny Bill Williams offload.
Play on.
Ayuza's on the field. Marcelo Bosch. 7 meters to go. Kubeli. Ayuza. Now Kubeli. Have they held him up? I think they might have. No, he got it down! Thomas Kubeli!
Well, how busy has he been since this came on? He's taking a deep breath, he's filling his lungs because he's been everywhere since coming onto the field, and he gets his try as an award. I think he was actually pulled back over the line by De Klerk. De Klerk 18 tries to hold him up, he actually drives him over the line. I think Emhoff's there to help out as well. The ball's touched down, and the little warrior, Kubeli, well, yeah, it's a good shot. There's the ball being touched down. His 10th international try, and
yes,
he has been everywhere since coming off the bench.
If Sorsina converts here, it will equal the highest score of the tournament. South Africa winning 64-0 over the USA, and the Pumas hit 64, a 50-point margin, and we still have just over 5 to go.
Well, these teams have met twice before, Gordon. 67 points to 14 in 2003 and 63 points to 3 in 2007, both at World Cups. And well, the scoreline's pretty similar, isn't it? But as you say, there's 5 minutes to go. And the way it's going, well, there could be many more tries.
Agustin Trevi on the field. Not Ajurza, as I told you.
Yes, I'm
Moroney.
checking, yes.
Okay. TMO.
And we've got
Check,
the TMO
please.
coming in again here.
Yes,
Nasty
well,
landing.
Yeah, the challenge in a wonderful take from the kickoff. I think it's Bosch, number 22, and then Duplessis comes in. There's not really a genuine attempt by Duplessis. Well, there is to get the ball, but then it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's a really difficult one. That
Pascal,
in real time.
they're all the angles.
Yeah.
I believe that the player was not in a realistic position to catch the ball.
Yeah.
He was not in a realistic position,
Okay.
and he has knocked the player when he was in the air.
Yeah. Your recommendation? Penalty and yellow card. Agree?
Correct.
Yeah. You are not in a realistic position to complete the ball. and you take a player, it's a penalty and yellow card against you. Yeah, definitely.
You're kidding?
No, definitely right.
Well, what a sad way to end your Rugby World Cup. But Guinness Duplessis, you heard his comment, you're kidding.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's so hard because what the referees are looking for is a genuine attempt to catch a ball. Now, he got a hold of Marcelo Bosch and knocked the ball. There's very little in it. And because Bosch landed on his back, it was a yellow card, not a red card. But
I thought he was genuinely looking at the ball.
he was looking at the ball
to catch it.
but he pulls down Bosch, and ever so slightly, there's not a lot in it. It's
Wait.
such a difficult one. I mean, what else can you do?
He actually hooked his arm under his armpit.
There's a rerun of the first half.
No straight.
As we said at the time, I'm not sure Martin Johnson agreed with too many yellow cards, and he disagrees with that one as well. It's hard, so hard in Duplessis because there's not an intent there. He's going for the ball initially, his eyes on the ball, but because he doesn't reach the ball and reaches a man, unfortunate for him, he spends 10 minutes in the sin bin.
And well won again by Ewan Evie. He's been the outstanding line-out winner on the field today. The young lock from Breve, the gangling one. Solid charge there by Riddling Hayes. And Cravey, the captain, comes away. Supported by Herrera. 25 metres out. Any further score will be the highest of the tournament for Argentina. Aguj has come from the left wing.
You lost!
Kubeli with plenty of time. Fernandez Lobe brought to ground on the 22. Not sure about that one.
Yeah, there's no one chasing at all there from Kubeli. I think maybe just wanted a rest. Might slow things down. Usually you get a call from someone else. It's not quite often the Nine's decision to do that. You maybe got a call from someone else and then the chaser wasn't there. But look at that. Look at the tries in succession in the first half for Argentina. The yellow cards as well. They've had an influence on the match. But well, what's that? 1, 2,
9
3,
tries.
4, 5, 9 tries. Fantastic.
But some of the happiest moments were the tries scored by Namibia, with Tromp bringing the house down.
Yeah.
And then Grayling. So the dying throws of the game now.
Set.
The perfect ending would be a Namibian try. Can they pull it off? We've got an overlap here. That was beautifully read by Moroney. His move to outside centre, showing his versatility. And that's the thing about these Argentinian backs, they really seamlessly interchange.
Stay.
Back to Kotza. Good reaction. Now there's an opportunity. Conradi did superbly. Great.
No! 20!
Tackle low by Kubeli. Kotza again. Van Lille is cut out.
First the cone is red, the pass is forward. Second is blue.
This probably the last set piece of the game.
Yeah, and there's Berger. He'll be proud of what his countrymen have put out there today. A lot of these guys are amateur.
Now, of all those operations, he's had 7 in the last 2 years. All the screws and the plates have come out, but he carries them in his kit bag.
As trophies, you think that these trophies, good on him. He's a great man as well, a lovely bloke. A tough competitor, but off the field, one of the gentlemen, he really is. And, well, we wish him well on his international retirement.
Horacio Oguja, the former Leicester man, announced as man of the match, now with Bath Rugby. It's still advantage here for Namibia. There's a big chase on. And this will be back with Kubeli.
Go on, play it. Nice.
Namibia needs an intercept. Oh, they love those little flick passes out the side, don't they? It's a specialty of Kieran Reid. And Sonny
There's a
Bill.
turnover.
Well, here we go! Untitled! Oh, yes! What a try there to Yaches! He plays in Romania, but he's on another planet at the moment.
Well, Gordon, what a day. You called it. All it needs is a Namibian score. And Eugene Yaches gets it. It came from a turnover from Ioane. And Yaches finishes it off. Brought a big smile to that man, Jacques Burger's face. They're celebrating. What a way to finish an incredible match. This is a turnover here. Kubeli was held up. There it is.
Yeah, it's game over.
And if he rips it and he goes headlong for the line, and then at the last minute thinks, I'm just going to join in with the fun. Give a one-handed offload to Yaches, and he finishes with a swan dive. Here's the offload. Watch this. We've seen that all day long. And here's the finish. And here we go. If we can get an eye here. Look at this.
Oh, it hit the post. How good is that?
The spirit of rugby.
That's the man who travels all that distance to get the training. 340-kilometre round trip. His last play in his last test match, Johnny Redding Hayes from the Wanderers Club, his 50th cap, and he had the last goal kick. He retires in glory.
Well, his goalkicking stats will take a dent with that one. I've got a feeling it might be 0 from 1, but what a game. A full-time score of 64-19. Great entertainment here at Leicester. What a match. The smile on Senatore's face tells you what he thought of the game. Lobby, well, he's thinking ahead to next week, who will they face, but that was an absolute joy and privilege to watch. Fantastic entertainment.
And what about this Puma side, Chris? How do you see their chances going forward?
I think they're one of the superpowers of world rugby. I think they've got quality in abundance. They've got a good balance to their game. They're tough to break down. Their set piece is good. They certainly scored tries today, and they can score tries against anyone. I think they're one to watch. Who they'll play, well, we'll find out later on.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, they went down to the All Blacks, but they led in the second half, and only 2 late tries by New Zealand sealed that victory, 26-16. But Argentina dominated the All Blacks for large slices of that game, and they have terrific depth right through their squad. They're going to be a big threat next Sunday at Millennium Stadium against either France or Ireland.
Yeah, absolutely. The good balance inside. There's another tradition, another value of rugby. Opposition teams forming a tunnel, clapping each other off, and the Namibians, well, they brought a smile to a lot of people's faces as well this afternoon. No more so than that, man. Riddell in house, well, he can't stop smiling. He won't stop smiling for a long time.
Well, the Namibian captain is a mechanical engineer in the local brewery, Rowan Kitsop.
Rohan, the fans here, love that match. How did you enjoy that test against Argentina?
I think the guys came out firing. I need to take my hat off to the Argentinian team. They really played well. They spread wide and exposed us a bit. It's not really the way we want to end the World Cup, but I think it was clear from the guys the way the Namibian boys played. They showed a lot of heart, and even right till the end, trying to fight back to get a try.
3 tries was quite outstanding, but to end the game like that was fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just indication of what we came out to do this World Cup, to show the people out there that the Namibian boys have fight, and we have a team with a lot of character. I think we showed it until the end, never backing down, keep on fighting till the end, and I need to say, I did take my hat up to the boys.
And overall, the whole experience of this World Cup, how much have you enjoyed being here?
Oh, it was fantastic. I think the guys learned a lot, gained a lot of experience, and there's a lot of guys that's ending off their career now, guys like Jacques Burger, Johnny Redlinghuyse, and Jaco Engels. Got real legends of the Namibian team. There's a lot of young guys coming through that gained a lot of experience through this World Cup, and that experience is invaluable.
And our thanks to Joe Spate. And yeah, they fight to the end. A lot of great players bowing out for Namibia, but some very exciting youngsters coming through.
Great scenes as well. The appreciation. There's so many Argentina fans on their feet applauding these guys. Jack Berger and his crew. They gave a lot this afternoon.
Well, they scored 3 tries against Tonga. They lost by a point to Georgia. They scored 3 here against Argentina. The winning captain now.
Martin, the atmosphere here quite amazing. At times it felt like Buenos Aires.
Yes, it does. We want to thanks to all the Argentinian people that came. We really feel their support, so thank you very much.
The way you played in that second half, how much were you enjoying your rugby?
Well, I think we had a first half too, it was very good, and we are enjoying how we are playing, so we're having fun.
Do you want to now play in that more attacking, expansive style of play?
Yeah, of course, we love to play like this. It's much more fun, but we know that defense is our main key, so we will try to get better there.
And do you feel now the team is peaking for the big knockout games to come?
Yeah, of course, we worked a lot for this, so we're hoping to have a good match next Sunday.
And do you have any preference as to who you might play, France or Ireland?
Not at all, not at all. It's the same for us.
Thanks for your time.